Greetings from the moon. I'm just kidding, everybody. I'm not actually on the moon, although I'm sure I had a few of you fooled. The reason I'm doing this is that every time I see a content creator that I like do a Q&A video, they always do it in a unique location, like a cool place that's near their home, or, you know, it's unique to them, or it's meaningful to who they are or the type of content they create. But I don't have like a vlog kit yet. I haven't figured out portable mics, so I can't really take you on the go with me. So what you get instead is a green screen in my apartment, which is the same as every other video I've ever made. So sorry for that, but that's what we're sticking with for now. I'll make things more interesting another time. So thank you guys very much for tuning into this Q&A. I know that it's been a long time coming. What I've done is I've pulled up the video, and you'll notice that I haven't hearted or responded to any comments. Typically I do that for like all of them if I can, but I wanted to go into this blind, so I've been avoiding looking at any of your questions, and I'm going to try to answer as many as I can. So if I pass yours over, I apologize, but I will try to answer all the unique 228. Oh man, I was expecting maybe 30. Okay, we'll see how this goes. I'll answer however many I can. Okay, Nate Box asked, Adam, how do you choose movies for your own recaps? It's interesting as you do rather weird movies. 66 people liked this one. This is a popular question. You know, if this question walked into the club and shook its ass, everybody'd be like, damn. So how do I choose them? Well, I started with Donnie Darko, which is my favorite movie of all time. So that was a no-brainer. It's what the channel profile picture is inspired by. I talk about it all the time. It was also at a very crucial point in my young life. It was the watching of that movie that made me want to work in the film industry, which is what my life was all about up until a certain point. Donnie Darko was an easy start. It just clicked and made total sense for the channel. After that, I did maybe like 12 to 15 of them that were more sort of straight-laced recaps. I was kind of playing straight down the line before I started getting really goofy. For that, I was just trying to pick movies that I thought were interesting, that I hadn't seen other channels recap already, that I just thought had good enough stories that a recapped version of that story would be fun for you guys. But now that I've kind of transitioned over to being a complete idiot from front to back on these things, I'm trying to pick stuff that's funny or fun for me, bring the most out of myself in regards to cracking jokes, being weird with it. So like the last 3, Small Soldiers, Gremlins, 3 Ninjas, those are all big time nostalgia pieces for me. Movies that my brother and I watched a lot as kids growing up in the 90s and the 2000s. I don't know, going forward, I'm going to keep drawing from the annals of my memory and trying to pick cool stuff that you guys may not have heard of, but that at some point in my storied history, I came across it and was like, what the hell is this? So stay tuned. We'll see what comes next. What's the reply here? Would love if he did Shaolin Popey 3. What? Shaolin Popey 3 Super Mischiefs. What website is this? This isn't even YouTube. Billy. Guys, what the hell? Lexi Benjamin writes, my question is, do you make the jokes in Mystery Recapped or is it in the script? The jokes are all mine. That's the only real addition that I make. So I apologize in advance, but I can't say too much about the process of the making of mystery videos. I don't want them to see this and think, oh, why is he talking so much about how we do things? But I'm sent a script from an actual writer. I am not an actual, I write my own recaps, but you'll notice those are, I'm not as good at telling a story as I am at making bad jokes. So they send me a really well-written script, and as I'm reading it, typically I haven't even seen the movie, as I'm reading it, whenever like a sentence hits me the right way and I can think of like a pun or a dumb thing to say about that moment in the movie, I'll throw it in. And so all of those jokes come from me. They're not submitted to me. What's the reply? Both. No, Los Santos Customs. No. Question, how much does Mystery Recapped pay you? I can't answer that. I apologize. Are you planning to do other voice acting gigs aside from recapping movies? I do. I have a Fiverr page. You can find me on Fiverr at Deep Dark Boys if you want to hire me to do some voice work for you. I used to be dirt cheap. I'm a little more now just because I'm so squeezed for time all the time. It's why you guys don't see me upload here very often. Yeah, I do all kinds of stuff. I proposed to a guy for a girl recently. It was a weird one, but I say yes to as much as I can. I don't like to get too adult with it because there are a lot of smutty amateurs out there. But I'm doing an audiobook right now, and it's a really well-written novel. It's a young adult novel about a kid who gets powers in a very interesting way. And when I'm getting closer to the end of that, I'll speak with the author. Maybe he'll let me rep it here on the channel and provide you guys with a link to get that if you're looking for something like that. You'll also see on this channel, on Deep Recaps, there was this Adam Reed's video that was a short story I read for a guy named Father Midnight, and I'm doing more with him soon. Actually, I might post another one really soon. So that's another sort of short form storytelling that I do. But I do voice acting too. I do like anime style stuff, and whatever people will pay me for, I'm in for the most part. And the dream is to do more of that and to continue to spread my wings in that sphere as I get older. Perza says, oh, and a question I want to ask. What was your favorite movie recap that you voiceovered? And it can be your own too. So that's an interesting one because I don't want to say that they all blend together because they really don't. I went to film school, so for a very long time, I've been aware of how similar movies are to one another. Seriously, if you study screenwriting and like how a treatment for a movie is written, it is so formulaic and broken down almost mathematically that it would shock you. If you look up a book called Save the Cat by Blake Snyder, that was an invaluable book when I was in film school, and that changed the way I watch movies and kind of perceive storytelling, maybe for the worse, to be honest. Kind of ruins the immersion sometimes. But so anyway, I absolutely love movies, adore them. And so even though I can see through the matrix a little bit on them sometimes, and I know when twists are coming and stuff like that, I don't get bored. And so when I'm reading scripts, I don't get bored either. It's always fun. It's always unique. But a favorite, I'm trying to think in terms of mystery. In terms of my channel, I would say Morbius, just because that was marked such a change in tone, and I had so much fun with that one. It also, my friend from Minute Movies helped me rep that one, which was huge and brought in more viewership than I'd ever had previously. I don't know. Have you said what your name is? Maybe I shouldn't say your name. Thank you, Minute Movies. But my favorite movie recap on mystery, let me think. Stuff like Meet Dave was a really fun one because I knew it was going to be the first one I ever showed my face on. And that was, just a silly movie. I remember there was a line in the script about him printing money out of his ass, and people loved that. And I just remembered it was such a unique and memorable day seeing that one go live and seeing people start to comment about my face, and because I was worried that wasn't going to go over well, and it did. Just to pull one off the top of my head that I really enjoyed reading. There was one about this guy who every time he goes to sleep, he wakes up as a different person. It's a love story, and there was something really special about that one. I remember as I was reading it, it was making me really emotional, and that doesn't typically happen, but I mean, yeah, it does. I'm a pretty emotional guy. I can't remember what it was called. I'll look for it after I shoot this, and I'll put the thumbnail up and right here. Right there. More recently, I loved doing The Strain. That was a really fun video, and it's a new one that we just released. It's a really long one because it's the first 6 episodes of a show in one video, which is a lot. But I got to go crazy on jokes because I decided to watch it before I did the script, so I had it all fresh in my head. One of my friends is in it, and I didn't know that going into it, so that made me laugh my ass off. I put that in the script as well. And now that we're doing like the series recapped thing as well, like the beginning of a TV show on mystery, and then kick it over to series, and we keep going, I think this is really fun, and it's a nice form of expansion for the channel. So that's a memorable modern one. That was a really long answer. Ashley says, congrats, Adam. So proud of you. How long does it take to record a script? That varies big time. Standard mystery scripts, the shorter ones, I can probably finish it from anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. If I'm just bang on and I'm not messing up or I'm not stopping to clear my throat constantly, I can get through the read in about 20 minutes. And then the editing process usually takes twice as long. Just going through, clipping out all the and all that crap. And like I record 7 days a week, so my voice is not always on. And sometimes I'm pretty rough and I have to keep coming back to it, and it can take hours. And then for my own channel, for Deep Recaps, because there's so many jokes, I record multiple takes of all the jokes, figure out which ones slot in the best and sound the best together, especially when I'm like doing voice acting for the characters, or like I did like a Boston accent for Rocky in the 3 Ninjas video.
I'm almost 15 years old. I gotta get a car and chase some ass.
Stuff like that. So it takes way longer than you would think. It's my own fault though. I'm being particular. JJ Vaughn, what's up, JJ? Reading 365 plus scripts for mysteries so that millions can enjoy and listen to your voice every day from all around the world is crazy to me. It's crazy to me too. All while working on series recap and 2, Fiverr, full-time job, and your 2 YouTube channels. Man, your work ethic is something. So that wasn't a question, but that was exactly right. You just summed up my entire existence, man. And it's a lot, but it's a ton of fun. My only regret is that I don't have more time for YouTube, and I hope at some point something's got to give, and things will be reshaped a little so that I can post more regularly and make things fun for you guys. Let's switch the locale, shall we? Let's go to the rainforest. Me? Can you? Nice. All right, let's do some questions from the jungle here. Jesus Chicken. Jesus Chicken says, watch out and take care. Those famous words, they're so good. Funnily enough, I was one of those people questioning whether you were an AI narrator. Something about the delivery of watch out and take care. Yeah, I was just imitating that robot, man. There's something about the way that robot says it that just, it's so iconic, I guess. So I was really trying to copy that. And I know that I don't really say it anymore, but that's why. To contribute, do you like hearing the sound of your voice? Watching all your MR videos got me wanting to dabble in voice acting, but I hate the sound of my voice. I'm from Australia, so I have an Aussie accent and feel as though nobody wants to hear that in a voice. Have you ever had doubts about how your voice sounds in media? Man, yes, I've absolutely had doubts. Like everyone, I think this is a relatively common thing. People don't like hearing their own voice. However, here's where that kind of changed. I never liked hearing my own voice in like home videos. You know, people were recording with cell phones or like old hand cameras, especially if you're filming, if you're at an event or something and you're filming other people and they're talking to the camera and then you hear yourself go like, yeah, true. And you just, when you're playing that back for yourself later, you hear that and you're like, oh, shut up, me. Shut the fuck up, me. You know, it's horrible. No one likes that. And so that's why it took me so long to try voice acting, because I didn't like the sound of my own voice at all. When that changed was when I bought professional equipment and I treated a space, and then I started practicing, and then I had to get used to it really quick because when you're editing, you're just hearing yourself over and over. And especially if you're doing something tricky, like the audiobook I'm working on is probably the trickiest thing I'm doing because there's character voices all the time, stuff like that. So when you're trying to pick the best takes and get really specific, you have to listen to yourself over and over again. And trust me, I still hate that. It's not like I've suddenly drank my own Kool-Aid or anything. As for the thing about Australia, I think that all accents are cool as hell. And I think that even if maybe you're super used to your own accent, the people around you speak with the same accent, maybe you feel like you're tired of it for some reason, and that makes you think other people would be too. Don't do that to yourself. People will love that. And also, like, if you're on Fiverr like I am, which is the only way that I do voice work, it's going to be front and center that's your accent, that's your natural accent, and people are going to go looking for that. People are going to be Googling Australian accent or Fiverring Australian accent. So look, just get started. Trust me. Jesus Chicken, don't doubt yourself before you've begun. It's such a pointless waste of time. I'm getting a little older now, and I just regret every day. I regret not having started sooner. And don't do that to yourself. I'm sure your voice sounds awesome. Get yourself a mic, put some pillows up in a closet, get going. My friend Cy Real Domingo, my good friend Cy. Hello, Cy. One of the moderators on Discord, one of the first dudes in the bunch, and just such a stand-up person. Glad to have you here, Cy. That goes for you too, JJ. I didn't mean to just single out Cy there. I love you guys that have been around for a while. You're the best. Never a failure, man. It's all just roadblocks, and I'm sure as hell you'll get through it. We appreciate you and your high-quality videos. Great video. And I know that, thank you. I know that you'll become more successful in your future. We'll see. I'm very glad to be a part of this great community. Knew so much people that I could confidently say became my friends, even though we haven't seen each other personally. Man, the internet's weird, but I love it nonetheless. Thanks for the content. You know where to find us. Hey, no question, Cy. Well, you should have asked a question, Cy, but here's a little heart for you. Yeah, okay, so man, internet is weird. God, do I ever feel that. The internet is so strange. The way it brings people together is so strange, but at the same time, it's incredible, and it's the new normal. Like, anyone born within the last 15 years is growing up with that in their hands. I know this isn't very deep, and I'm probably sound like I think it's deep. It really does blow my mind, but it has changed everything. This is not our parents' world anymore at all. And I personally get such a warm kick out of my favorite content creators, and I just love it. I know that it's like a parasocial relationship. I know that it's not real, and it can get get really weird for some people, but I think that there's a really like comfortable and safe line to be towed there where, you know, you can still kind of feel like you know somebody and you can still comment to interact with them. And if the channel's not too explosive, then they'll respond. And I just think that that's awesome. I think that that's such a, it's healthy until it's not, but I think it's healthy and it brings people together in a way that nothing else possibly could have. And I'm just so glad that this is all happening now, because it's what for 5 years I've been making videos. This is what I've always wanted. So thanks, Sai. I couldn't agree more. The internet's weird, but I love it nonetheless. Midnight Phantom. Midnight Phantom says, congratulations, Adam. What is your top 4 favorite games of all time? Dude, nice question. All right. Am I going insane? Oh shit. I went ahead. Heart for you, Midnight Phantom. Sick. Everyone's getting hearts, all right? I'm going to be like, I'm Oprah up in this, but 4 top favorite games would be Shenmue for the Dreamcast. I tried to play Shenmue 3 on this channel recently. I actually went back and played the Shenmue 1 remastered with my friend Brandon for like 1 or 2 videos, and it didn't really hold up, but when I was a kid, it was just such a big leap forward in gaming. Leaps are getting more incremental now, or like less exponential, but back in those days, the Dreamcast was like, are you kidding? Like open world Sonic. And so anyway, Shenmue was, I just remember that story so vividly, and asking if people have seen any sailors or whatever the hell the meme is, but that's one for sure. Resident Evil 4 is another one. I made a video about that on this channel as well, because a new mod got released recently that really nicely retexturizes everything. Textures. That's another one that I played that with a friend of mine who would live with me on the weekends. We would always pick new games to play, and Resident Evil 4 was so some of my favorite memories ever. Playing it at midnight, being so scared. That was back when games still scared me. Just kidding. They still scare me. Another one would be Condemned Criminal Origins. That's a bit more of a deep cut, and one I've thought about doing a Let's Play of, but it's so, I hope it gets remastered or something someday, because it's just so old at this point, which I know that's not a negative. Some people love classic games, but damn, Condemned is also so much fun and so scary too. As for a 4th, what's going to fill the 4th slot? Why don't we just take a look at my favorite video games of all time list? Have I told you guys I make lists? This is going to be really hard. I want to say all of these, you know? Like, here's a list, guys. Take your pick. If you want to see me play any of these on the channel, let me know. Let's say Final Fantasy X. The butt rock at the beginning of that game slapped so hard, and the graphics were way better than anything I'd seen at that point. And that whole intro with Sin coming in on the city, this mysterious dude with a giant ass sword is standing up on looking at it coming in, while this blonde Backstreet Boy is kicking a soccer ball around in a sphere of water. That game was mind-blowing, and it stayed good. I loved the turn-based combat and everything about it. That game is amazing. So let's put FFX in that final slot. Thanks for the awesome question, Midnight Phantom. Israel Davila says, every night I can hear it. Hi, mystery recapped here. Am I going insane? No, I'm just enjoying this man's amazing voice. Congrats on 1 year. Thank you, Israel. Also not a question, but thank you. Oh, Sai, as for the question, I'm sorry, Sai. I did you dirty. How could I underestimate you like that? Aside from working, voice work and real job, playing games and making YouTube content, what's the thing and hobby you love spending your free time on? Also, any tips for people going through quarter life crisis? Asking for a friend. Man, okay, yeah, let's break this down. The thing hobby I love to spend my free time on, I don't know, is it cliche to say the people I love? Basically everything that is a hobby of mine, I'm turning into content these days. So gaming is a huge one, but that slots into making YouTube content. So I'm trying to go outside of that. I'd love if I could say exercise, but I hate exercising, but it makes me feel so good. What a weird thing. I can't think of anything else like that in life. It without fail makes you feel amazing, but every day you're like, nah, never mind, not doing that again. Anyway, so it's not exercise. Music. Some of you guys know I've played in a couple bands in my life. Certainly not out of the question that I may play in another one someday. I'm a drummer. I grew up playing guitar and singing, and then I switched over to drums, and I just love playing drums. But it's been a long time. The pandemic kind of took that away from me a little bit. And now that I'm in my own place in Toronto, I don't have the ability. I have to go to practice spaces and they're expensive. So I haven't been playing much, but that's my absolute favorite hobby. As for the quarter life crisis, I remember when I was like 25, which was not so long ago, I started having this feeling. Not a quarter life. I was thinking third life crisis. And I actually started Googling this because everyone's heard of like the midlife crisis, but I hit a super stressful point. I started going on Reddit and being like, is there such thing as a third life crisis? It's tough because you hit these moments that you think of or that you have thought of up until that point as a milestone. By such and such point, I will have this job. I will have started a family. I will have X number of kids. I will be making this much money. I will live in this place. And like, how often does real life add up to that? Not often, man. So those crises really do stem from that, I believe. Is just sort of an upset when it comes to expectation versus reality, or just having like these forks in the road that are presenting themselves like I'm going through right now with all these different things I'm trying to do and realizing I can't keep all these balls up in the air forever. It does present some real tough times. I'm a critical, fatal, tragic overthinker, and I can't sleep a lot of the time because I'm just mulling the same carousel of ideas. That's the most annoying thing about it. And you may agree, Sai. The same stuff keeps presenting itself and you don't have an answer for it. And so anyone who will listen to you, friends, family, partner, at first they'll be like, yeah, let's talk about this. And then the fifth time in a row you hit them up and you haven't changed at all. It's just the same shit. They're going to, it's all up to you at the end of the day. And maybe a therapist. I'm not saying see a therapist, but actually I think therapy is amazing. I think it's less stigmatized these days than it used to be, which is awesome. I personally have been thinking about it. What do you have to lose? What does anyone have to lose from paying someone to listen to their woes? Anyway, tips, exercise. Let's bookend this, actually. Yeah, that's weird. I wasn't planning on that, but 100% actually. Exercise. Nothing quiets the mind and calms the brain like exercise. It's shocking sometimes how overwhelmed I can feel on any given day, how unhappy I can be with the way things are going around me, or just like how behind I feel on all of these different jobs. And then I'll go for a run or I'll lift a couple weights. Nothing intense. I don't know how to body build. I'll just do a little bit of movement, as much as you can do. I feel like a lot of people shy away from exercise because they see influencers, selling you supplements and stuff, and they're jacked to oblivion. They look like they can bench press the goddamn moon, which is like, obviously you want the person selling you the snake oil to look like they're benefiting from it. But at the same time, like, it's intimidating, right? You're like, well, I'm never going to look like that person. So why would I listen to them? Anyway, what the hell am I talking about? Whatever's within your means, just even so much as going for a walk. This kind of thing can totally bring you back down to earth, iron out all the kinks in your poor brain, Sai. I know that you're going through law school, and I know that a lot of people in this chat are going through school. There's, exams are a really common topic, and boy, do I ever remember that stress. I remember that stress like it was yesterday back when I lived in the South. Oh my God. Exercise is one, talking to people about it is another. And then also, Owen Wilson once said that things happen in waves. The longer you go on in this life, the more you recognize the truth and the value and understanding that all the highs don't last and the lows don't last. So when the highs happen, what's the word for it? Cultivate that thing as long as you can. Massage it, foster it, keep that high going if you can. But when it goes down again and things are tough and you're having a quarter life crisis, just remember that time's going to keep going and you just one day at a time. I know that's super cliche, but it's so true because those days are going to come and go regardless of whether you're stressing balls. So just let it happen. I hope that helped, Sai. This video is going to be long. I hope that's okay, guys. I don't want to leave anyone out, but it's been like 30 minutes and I've answered like 3 questions. So maybe I'll have to do a sequel. Let me know in the comments if you guys want that. I guess I could just make another one, but I don't know. I don't know if people are going to be down for listening to me talk like this. We'll see what the analytics say. Probably bad. Let's change the locale again. Let's go to, let's answer a few from a sunny beach. Whoa! God damn, that is sunny. Okay. Now I can't read the questions. Topiary 56 writes in and says, I've been watching Mystery Recapped for like 6 months now every day, and I really enjoy your voice and recaps. Thanks, Topiary. How much of the video making process do you actually do? Obviously, you narrate and make the jokes, but do you write the scripts, choose the movies, edit the clips? Also, are we ever going to get the old intro back? I'm still hung up over that. Okay, I'm assuming I'm going to see that question a lot. Okay, as for the process on Mystery, It's just the recording of the audio, the joke writing, and the editing of the audio. That's all there is to that. But when it comes to my videos, I do everything. And that's why I'm uploading a recap like once every 2 weeks, which I'm sorry, but it takes so long to make those. Sometimes I outsource the editing. I have a couple amazing editors that I'm in touch with, and they've helped me out big sometimes. But for the most part, I do all of it, but not for mystery. As for the old intro, I can't go into depth because, as I was saying at the beginning, I can't speak for the way that Mystery does business. I hear you guys. I see this in the comments every single day. What I can say about this is that even though there are a pretty big group of fans of the channel who want that intro back, who really, really like it, and it just makes it for them. And I get that. It's a touch of personality. I personally love it too. I think it helps set us apart, make us distinct from other recap channels. But when you're catering to an audience this big, not mine, not my channel, Mystery, like when you're talking anywhere from 400,000 to like 10 million people watching a video, you have to do what you can to just play it straight down the line and not get too different or distinct or slow or whatever. This is my best guess. I don't even really know the answer to this question. And it kind of sucks, doesn't it? Because YouTube really did used to be a place for people to just be themselves, period. And that was the content, and that's what drew people, and that's what YouTube would share out. But I feel like it's become much more of a business. I've heard a lot of people talk about this. I don't know exactly how it works, so I won't pretend to. People really need to like compartmentalize themselves now and pay attention to the analytics and be as close to like, just make their content as digestible and to the point and neatly packaged for YouTube to ship out to a select audience. It really changes the way that people do things, and it forces people to take out the more personalized stuff sometimes. If they feel like it's too much, or it'll lose people and they'll click away, and then your retention rate goes down and your average view duration goes down, and YouTube stops sharing the clips to new faces, and then your channel dies. It's so horrible. Anyway, I don't know if we'll get the old intro back. I can guarantee you that I am aware that people want this and that the other guys at Mystery do too. So we'll see. I'm sorry that it's not there in the meantime. Micaiah Jane Degani. You from Boston? Is this a Boston? No, I sound like a cartoon fish. Degani. You said you daydream a lot, and that, I'm going to stop. You said you daydream a lot, and that sends off artist vibes. My question is, are you interested in any creative field like writing or drawing? Of course, storytelling via recaps is one, and gaming as well, but you know. Oh man, I'm interested in exclusively creative fields. I am an artist. I'm such an artist. Yeah, daydreaming is a huge part of my life. And ever since I had to pick a post-secondary education for myself and had no idea what I wanted to do, I decided early on that I wanted to be in creative fields. I want to collaborate with people and create things for other people that make them happy, or they have some sort of emotional reaction that helps them make sense of their own life and help them define the meaning of things around them. That's all that matters, in my opinion. You know, sitting at a desk and just doing the same thing every day because it has to happen because businesses have to run. That's cool and all, but it's got to be about artist vibes at the end of the day. So I'm totally interested in writing. I used to write when I was younger. I haven't really done that anymore because there's so much that goes into good writing. You know, I think that I'm good with my vernacular and my grammar because my family beat that into me at a young age. They didn't beat that into me. They were very strict with my saying things the correct way. And so I think I've got that down. I also love world building, and I read a ton of fantasy. I love world building, and I love good character development. If you guys haven't seen Better Call Saul, holy shit. There's nothing like a good character. But, you know, to write, you have to be able to pull all of these things in together. Not that all art does that. I mean, a lot of video game writing is like super by the books and frustratingly vague and surface level. Okay, I'm rambling again. I would never presume to be capable of becoming a writer. I just think it would take too much time and focus, and I'm putting that elsewhere. But I can't draw either. You should see my drawing. It's not good. Maybe I'll send some into the Discord someday. But music, 100%, gaming 100%. Every job I've ever had has had to do with something I'm in love with creatively, artistically. So hell yeah, I daydream, and those artist vibes are strong. Okay. Oh. All right, let's take this somewhere else. The bottom of the ocean. I'm having a ton of fun doing this, by the way, guys. Thank you for asking for this for so long. I was nervous about doing it, but now that we're in here, God, I just love talking. Chim Chim Chums says, "Hi, Adam. Congrats on reaching this milestone." I didn't. This video, this Q&A was supposed to be for 25,000, but we're not. It doesn't feel like we're getting there. So, but you know, 1 year with mystery. Oh, that milestone. Oh, sorry. Do you speak any language other than English? If so, would you consider narrating in that language? I speak a little bit of German. Ein bisschen Deutsch. Ich spreche Deutsch manchmal. Jeden Tag ich praktisch, aber ich bin schlecht. I would never consider narrating in it because I'm nowhere near, like, I still get laughed at. I get laughed out of the room whenever I try to pull that off in front of anybody. Apart from Donnie Darko, what's your favorite movie of all time? Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. That's an easy one. It's kind of like Donnie Darko was the awakening for me, but Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, oh my God. I grew up reading Spider-Man comic books. I was a proper little dork. Honestly, if you're ever thinking like, I wonder if there's something to this whole graphic novel thing, forget all the rest. Controversial, I know, but Spider-Man from the beginning, from the 60s, or I think he started in the 60s. Oh, it's so great. I don't like the modern stuff. I just can't stand how everything's got to revolve around technology. You know, Peter Parker being brought into the MCU. Tom Holland's great, but I hate that it's all about like Stark tech and nanobots and all like, I made you a new suit even though you're only 10 years old and it can kill people. It's fan servicey. It's pulling from the lore of the comics over the course of 60 years. But back at the beginning, it was just a kid who couldn't pay his bills, who everyone called a panty waist and a wallflower, who had crushes on the cute girls, and he loves his family, and then horrible thing happens. He starts learning what it means to take responsibility. I know everyone knows that. It was so, like, the first 20 years of Spider-Man comics are insanely quality. When he hits the 90s and he starts having clones and stuff, it lost me. It's kind of like what's happening with the MCU and the movies right now. Every movie's got to be a cog in the machine. It's got to slot neatly in. It has like 10% originality, and then 90% of it is like what came before this and what's coming next and how do we service that. The comics obviously do that too, with giant crossover events and stuff, and that can get boring because it becomes all about squeezing as many characters on the page as you can. And it's just like, oh, like what's the splash page at the middle of the issue going to look like, and who's the best artist for the job. The earlier days were where it was all about character and it was all about lessons learned, and it was just, oh man, it was so good. It was so good. You didn't even ask about this, Chim Chim Chums. What the hell am I talking about? Oh, that's what you asked. The Sam Raimi movie was the best rendition of that version of the character that we're probably ever going to see. Would you consider vlogging the creative process of when you're writing your own script for your own channel? Yeah, sure, but it would be so boring. I'm telling you guys, it is me. Okay. Writing my own script is watching a movie and hitting pause every 5 seconds. It's literally like you wouldn't even want to be in person with me writing a script because I'm just in my own head in slow motion and it takes hours. But I guess I could vlog it. I don't know. Congrats, Adam. We're all happy and proud for you. Thanks, not Mr. Pringles. Thank you. Gondolas 69 says, what is the weirdest movie you have recapped on Mystery Recapped? How do you make a recap video copyright free? The weirdest movie might have been a recent one, actually. The Mystical Erection or whatever the hell. It's called like A Tale of Legendary Libido, I think. That is, if you skipped that one, go ahead. Make my day. But I think the weirdest movie I've ever recapped, period, was actually here on Deep Recaps, Titane. It's a French film about a woman who gets it on with a car and then gets pregnant. And the whole movie is just out of this world. Randa. It's been such a long time. I don't know why I said it like that. It's not like we have a thing where I say it like that. Hey, Randa. It's been such a long time since we first saw you on Mystery Recap. The whole year. Yeah, it's been... And I'll just say this. You by no means were a failure YouTuber. Hell, you're still one of the most entertaining channels I watch. So glad I found your channel, my guy. Much love, Adam. Here's to 365 more. Thanks, Randa. Keon Bentic, how much has Mystery Recapped impacted your life? A lot. All of it, yeah, it's been this crazy expanding web of like a butterfly effect kind of thing ever since I started narrating for them. So it's just impacted my life in a gigantic way. And that's why I'm such a big advocate for, if you guys have anything that you feel passionate about that you think you might want to do, like there's a question earlier about doubting yourself, just don't do it. It's the worst thing in the world, self-doubt. It is such a crippling beast, and it's not real. I can't stress that enough. It's so easy to look at people who are doing it better than you ever feel like you could. And you're like, well, why even begin then? That's such a stupid comparison is the death of what is the everything? I don't know. There's a phrase, a saying, but I can't remember what it is. I have a really good friend named Jay. He's been in some of the videos with me, the Diablo videos. He's the one that finally pushed me over the edge, got me to go buy a microphone, and everything changed. Like, I thought I'll do like a couple fan sub animes or something just to pass time because it was mid-pandemic, and that'll be it. I had no reason to believe anything else would happen. And so much is still changing every day. And I love that. It just makes life, it colors everything in a little bit more, and it fills in some of those blanks that happen when you're having those crises, those quarter life crises. Is it crises? I keep saying that like I'm like I'm sophisticated. It's impacted my life in a big way. Kian. Not a question. Just wanted to say you're super funny and I really enjoy watching your videos. Thanks, Charles. Thank you. I appreciate that. Armand, Adam, you are a cool and funny person. I really enjoy watching your content. Thank you for making our lives better. I love that. Because I agree that something that you enjoy watching totally makes life better. That's 90% of what we do is just kind of distract ourselves. And that just means the world to me that we've never met in person, but that you actually feel that your life is any better with my videos in it. That's crazy. Thank you. Maya says, first of all, you have blessed my poor ADHD brain. I cannot watch full movies, so these are amazing. That's cool. I'll admit that when I started recapping movies initially, I was kind of like, do I want to be like the face of something like this? Because I think movies are amazing. I've always been crazy passionate about movies, and it was kind of like, well, it kind of takes something away from them to just mash them down and just almost bastardize them. But as I've gone on with this, and I've heard from people like you, Maya, and I realized that there's so many reasons that the way in which we're making movies available to more people is totally a blessing, whether it's because you have ADHD and it's hard for you to focus for long periods of time and these are more compelling to you, or, you know, maybe you live somewhere where you don't have Netflix and you don't have that many options, and this way you can still be on the receiving end of good storytelling from time to time. I just think there's so many reasons to love these things. And so, yeah, you're welcome. I'm so glad that I get to be a harbinger of this format. The hell am I saying? Secondly, how are you so cool? I'm not. Ask any one of my friends or family. Believe me, no one in real life thinks I'm cool. Oh, guys, there's so many more of these, and I've already been so up my own ass with these answers. I think I'm going to scroll back up because I also noticed that a lot of people ask questions by replying to my comments, and I don't want to leave anybody up here out just in case they thought that this is what I was saying that you should do. So let's see. What are the highest rated ones here? The Blue Frog. How many takes does it usually take for one video? Oh, my movie recording stopped. I was saying before, it depends on the day. Some days I wake up and I'm croaky, groggy. You notice it so much more when you actually have to record every day. Like, you know, you wouldn't think that your voice is ever bad, but it happens. And when that happens, it can take many takes because I'll hear clicky, gross ASMR crap coming out of my mouth, or my voice will crack. And I've learned what to look out for, and that makes me more particular, which means more takes. It can be bad, but also some days, like today, for example, earlier today, I recorded 2 scripts and I had gone for a run first. I felt really cleared up and good to go, and I blew through it almost in a single take. So it can go both ways. I think pros, though, I don't think pros mess up very often. I think pros go in and they record and they keep their breaths in and everything and just get it done super fast. Couch Potato says, do you like eat potatoes with jam? Also, new theme song. Watch out. Take care. Cos, the recap bear is coming to scare times 10. Was that a haiku, Couch Potato? I don't eat potatoes with jam, man. I don't eat anything with jam. Jam can be good. I once visited somebody who made their own like jams and jellies. They had like a garden, and they, distilled the fruits or whatever the hell the process is. And so they had all the different currants, blackberry currant and raspberry cordial. Did you guys ever read Redwall? Those books did food pretty well. Anyway, no, I've had jam, but I don't particularly like it, and I would not eat potatoes with it. You're insane. I don't know if I should ask this, but what's your main job? Sora's, I work for a AAA video game developer. I used to work in the film industry. For years, I was in the film industry, hucking gear around, driving trucks, doing camera, and then that landed me on the shoot floor of a video game studio where I was kind of doing film industry stuff, but in games with real life actors in motion capture suits. It really captured my imagination, and I loved the atmosphere and the vibe and the people. So I stuck around. Sanfo, how did you get the name Deep Recaps? The original name was Deep Dark Boys, which originally when I started this as a Let's Play channel, the goal was to have all my buddies in it with me all the time. And we loved making dark jokes at that phase in our lives. And we liked saying it when something wasn't dark. Like, it'd be like, man, I woke up at like 1 p.m. today, and someone would go, dark. And everyone would laugh because it was unexpected. So I was like, Deep Dark Boys. I'm always going to have other Deep Dark Boys with me. And then over time, it became more just me, because I think I weirded out and scared off all my buddies. But then the whole thing happened where I was like, maybe I should turn this into a recap channel, because for years I didn't have any subscribers, any viewership whatsoever, and I couldn't figure out how to get it out there. It's a real crapshoot trying to find viewership when you're a new channel, especially in gaming. Everyone thinks that people out there are just looking for gamers to watch. That's not the case. I think people will get more attached to specific personalities, then they'll watch them do anything. Even like you go to PewDiePie or Corey Kenshin and people are begging them to do cooking videos and stuff. Like people just want to see these people in their lives. And I know you guys ask me to do that too. And I'm not very good at branching out yet. But anyway, so it was a gaming channel, but then the sub count starts growing, but it's all people coming over from Mystery, because the guys at Mystery are kind enough to put the link to my channel. You guys know this. I look at the analytics because unfortunately that's what a YouTuber does. It's a dark thing. It's dark, but but I was seeing that people were watching those gaming videos. I'd post like a 45-minute video and the average view duration was like a minute. Like, it was abysmal. So it was really clear to me that people were coming over. They were excited to see what my channel was all about, but then they would see the video games and they'd be like, oh, never mind. So I kind of thought, okay, A, I still want to do game videos, but B, this big audience that's finally arrived is looking for something else. So I converted this to recaps, and then I made the new channel for game stuff so I can keep doing what I love. Anyway, I thought that Deep Recaps was a cool name for a recap channel. It kind of rhymes, it kind of rolls off the tongue, and it's still from Deep Dark Boys, Deep Recaps. Okay, and then I made the gaming channel Adam After Dark, which kind of sounds like an Adult Swim thing. Like, this is like late night programming, but it's also like after Deep Dark Boys. Does that make sense? I don't know. I thought about it for a while, but that's how I got this name. Jonalyn Domalad, who's your favorite YouTuber? PewDiePie, like 1,000%. I know it's like maybe just too obvious of an answer because he's just like the biggest channel, but I'm not a bandwagon hopper. I was watching this guy from the beginning, and also it was never about like the Scream stuff. I'm close to the same age as Felix, so I kind of felt like I grew up with him. Early parasocial relationships at the dawn of parasocial relationships. It was very strange, but he was so entertaining. And then as he started to mature with his content and branch out, and he was like creating his own studios and employing people. He was doing television shows. He was vlogging. He was very real. He's made big mistakes, of course, your whole life on camera. I just think that he's an amazing human being. He does so much to try to inspire his viewers. He studies like Greek philosophy, very into taking care of himself physically and mentally. He talks about past addictions. He talks about how he views the grind of YouTube and whether it's good or bad for a person, whether it's natural. There's just so much to love in that guy. And now that he's in Japan with Marzia and the dogs, there's nothing better than those vlogs. They make me feel very warm and fuzzy. So yeah, he's always been my favorite. If you haven't heard of PewDiePie, check him out. Big inspiration. Raphael, what job did you have before becoming a narrator? So let's go back. I was a library page. That was my first job in high school. I was literally just receiving books that were returned and sorting them, putting them back on the shelves. But that job was cool because A, I love books, and B, I was working with a famous author, a guy named Ed Greenwood, who does Forgotten Realms novels. And I was reading Forgotten Realms novels before I met this guy. Unfortunately, I wasn't reading his Forgotten Realms novels. So I felt he must have been so frustrated with me. Like, this little runt comes in and he's like, yeah, I love the Forgotten Realms. Have you heard of R.A. Salvatore? His biggest competition is steep as like, anyway, Ed Greenwood was a really wonderful and interesting character. So that was a cool job. That was like a little dream space that didn't even feel like real life in there. And then I worked at a Blockbuster when I was in university, just slinging movies, and I was in film school. So I could always hold great conversations with people about the new greatest things. I loved my manager there. This guy named Peter. He was really, really awesome. And then EB Games when I moved to Toronto to get into the film industry, and I was like brand new to it. So I Wasn't making a lot of money. I took a part-time job at EB Games. Same deal as Blockbuster, just with games now. And I loved my manager there too. Shout out to Denny. And then film industry for like half a decade. Grueling, crazy work. I could go on for days about that, and I won't. But now I'm in games and narration and YouTube. So I've been around. Also, I lived in London, England for a year playing music. So I was we weren't really making money, but that was my profession was as a musician at that point in my life. Free Butter, how many girls simp for you? Zero. It's not simping. It's just interaction. And trust me, I'm serious. Nobody simps for me. JJ says, if you could choose one actor to have a drink with once a year, that's cool. Not just once, but once a year. So you get to touch base with this person. And another actor to have a Skype call with once a month. Who would they be? Oh, man. Geez. Okay. The drink once a year, Nick Cage. Yeah, of course, Nick Cage, because the dude's a rock star and a total maniac, and he changes all the time. Like he swings for the fences in his movies. So I feel like he would be different year to year, and that would always be exciting. And the drink thing, yeah, that would just be the best way to pick someone like that's brain and to get comfortable with them. Close second, that would be Keanu Reeves, because he's the coolest dude, and I would just want to walk around and talk to him. Such a nice guy, apparently. And another actor to have a Skype call with, Owen Wilson. For sure. Owen Wilson is the chillest, sweetest human being of all time. And he's so funny and dry. And I take a lot of my comedic inspiration from Owen Wilson. Not that I'm even in the same universe. He'd be cool to talk to on Skype, because he'd just be like, hey, how's it going? Hey, Adam. Oh, I'm just here with the kids. Wow. So... Praveen says, what are your future plans? Man, I have so many future plans, and I just don't know how to kick it off, because I'm so busy just keeping the wheel spinning. I'm on the big wheel, and it has to keep, if I stop, it stops turning. I don't want to let that happen, but I really want to evolve my content. It would be really cool to make my life interesting enough to vlog about it, you know? A lot of vloggers are either the best at what they do, so you just want to know about them, so the vlog is like a cool, like Jack Black, for example, when he started Jablinski Games, it was like, dude, I get to see into this guy's life. Let's go. Like, that's a vlogger. Alternatively, you have dudes who are just pro at vlogging, like Casey Neistat, people like that. I know there's a lot of guys that are like bodybuilders that vlog all the time, and they're just so high energy all the time. And, you know, those are people who just love pointing the camera, like walking around, pointing the camera at themselves, pointing it at unsuspecting people and asking them questions, keeping them on their toes. I'm not either of those things. So that's why I don't really vlog now, because my life's not interesting. You don't want me to walk around with a camera. You would not stick around for very long. So I've been thinking, like, what would be cooler than traveling with the voice work? What if I could go to New Zealand for 4 months and post up somewhere quiet, get myself a car every day, I do some voice work, send it off, and then I go explore this new place. And then after 4 months, let's go to Tokyo. After those 4 months, let's go to Austria. Let's go to Sweden. It would be so cool to just start bouncing around the globe. I'm still at a point in my life where that's something that's important to me. So I've thought about that. Or what if I got a van? If you guys know who Joel Haver is, he's one of my favorite YouTubers. He's hilarious. During the pandemic, he got himself a van and just started driving around the United States, collaborating with people. And I was thinking, yeah, like what about a road trip? The dream vacation, but I turned it into content for everybody. And then also am still doing the voice work from the road. All these thoughts, those are my future plans. I just don't know how to get there yet, but we'll see. Well, hello, Elena Perez. I remember you. Elena's been around for a while too, and her sister Raven too. What did you dream to be when you were a child? I think I wanted to be like a Pokemon. Kiwi Panda asks, what camera do you use? It's really good. It used to be a webcam. Then it was a hand cam that was from a long ass time ago for like the old Alan Wake videos and stuff like that. Just a really simple camera. Lately, I'm using a Canon T7i. It's right here, actually. It's a DSLR. I borrowed it from work from a friend. Does the trick. It's definitely in the lower tier price wise, and it's just really good 1080 footage. You can get it up to 60 frames. It's got great colors. I like the colors that Canon does. But what I'm using right now, actually, surprise, this is a new camera. So let me know what you guys think about how this one looks. I went through some options and changed a bunch of stuff around, but I'm not done doing that yet. This is a Canon EOS RP. I just asked a whole bunch of questions at the store one day and then bought it. I got it because it's a full frame sensor, so it's capable of getting wider with the same lenses, and the T7 was a crop sensor, so it was a little too tight on me. I have a shallow desk, so it's on this stand, and I felt like I was too close to the camera all the time before, so now it's a little wider, and I think this is going to work better for gaming content especially. So if you think this one's good, Canon EOS RP, the other one's a T7i. Thanks for asking that, Kiwi. Recovering Christian, what kind of shampoo do you use? I've tried getting fancy with the shamps. You know, you go to a YouTube channel with a person with immaculate hair and they're like telling you like the 7 products they use. I've tried it. It always ends up, my hair feels like sap and shit. I don't know. I use Head and Shoulders, my man. Head and Shoulders all the way. Rita says, do you watch anime? If so, what's your favorite anime? Mine is Tokyo Ghoul. My favorite anime is 1,000,000% Cowboy Bebop. I've talked about it at length. I made a whole video about Cowboy Bebop. You can find it in the playlists, in the specials playlist on this channel. Cowboy Bebop was immaculate, and the craziest thing is it's held up. Like, it was a huge turning point in my young life, similar to Donnie Darko. Like, being a Dragon Ball Z, huge fan of Dragon Ball Z, that's like a close second. Growing up, I would go to a VHS store called Sunrise, and I would buy new episodes before they even aired. I wouldn't buy them. My parents would buy them, but I was so addicted to DBZ, and that was kind of all I knew for a while. And then Cowboy Bebop came around, changed everything. It was so much more adult. It had so much more to unpack. The art style was incredible, and it kept changing, and the tone was different, and the music was incredible. It's outstanding. Cowboy Bebop's insane. Another one is Yu Yu Hakusho, which was kind of felt like if Dragon Ball Z is elementary school, Yu Yu Hakusho feels like high school, if that makes sense. It's just a little more, hardcore, and just a really cool show and a really funny show. Chris Sabat, the same guy who's Vegeta and Piccolo in DBZ, is Kuwabara in so Piccolo. Let me see if I can Gohan. Piccolo sounds like this. Gohan. Vegeta sounds like this, Kakarot. And then Chris Sabat also does Kuwabara and Yu Yu Hakusho. Hey, oh God. Hey, oh shoot. I should probably stop soon. You think you're so cool, you Meshi. What am I doing? Tokyo Ghoul, I've seen the first 2 seasons. I really like it. I'll probably watch the rest of it later. It's a very cool show. I love that theme song. I gotta chill out. I really like that show. All the modern bangers are crazy, like Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen I just started watching, holy crap, Demon Slayer. Even though I find shonen boring nowadays, the formula is just so right in your face. It's so obvious. I'm in high school, but I can see demons. Like, it's everywhere. It's still like the animation quality and the music and everything is just getting to a point where it's like, how could you not enjoy this? It used to be a niche thing to like anime. People got bullied for it. Nowadays, it's like totally the norm. And I think that's awesome. All the power to it. I hope that medium continues to grow and get cooler and cooler. I love anime. So Rita, if you want to talk about it in the Discord, anytime. Sub asks, are you a robot? Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Let's just do a lightning round. I'm going to answer questions with way less depth. Let's just to get through as many of these as I can, because I feel bad leaving people out. Let's just go through some. Ricky asks, did you think that you would get this far on your first narration? No. Brim, how many people does it take for a recap? I've talked about that earlier. If it's just one, it takes a long ass time. But it can take, you can employ a bunch of people. You can get a big team going, and it starts working like clockwork, and it's better. Abhay, what kind of music do you like? Linkin Park is my favorite band. There's never been a voice like Chester Bennington's, and there never will be again. I grew up on them, and I don't know if it was like cringe teenage angst. I wasn't even a teenager at the time when I discovered them, but I just thought that they were perfect. And like Mr. Han, the stuff that he would do with the turntables and like the production elements that Mike Shinoda would bring in, and the tone that they had for the guitar and the drums, and just, not the most impressive instrumentals, just such awesome songs that I can listen to them endlessly. They're my favorite band. So I like a lot of hard rock like that. I don't like a lot of other new metal. New metal, like I don't like Korn, Limp Bizkit, kind of like Deftones, but I also love pop punk, Blink-182, for example. Just anything that kind of gets you up and gets you going. My favorite modern guitar rock band is Foals. If you've heard of them, they're from England. They're amazing, and they just keep putting out great albums, and it doesn't seem like they're that big, which blows my mind. I like a new metal band called Thornhill, these Australian guys.
Epic.
I got to see them live in Toronto recently, and I talked to their drummer, and that was like a pretty cool moment, especially because he seemed so blown away that someone wanted to talk to him. They're not that big yet, but I think they're incredible. And Bring Me the Horizon I listen to all the time. Anything that's like a little on the heavier side, but it's melodic and it's catchy and it's produced well, I'm in. I also love classic rock, Led Zeppelin, stuff like that. When I got to university, a lot of my new friends started to, I was like listening to Slipknot in my dorm room and people were walking by really fast. It was pretty clear that no one wanted to talk to the guy who's blasting out of his dorm room day one. So I realized real quick that was bad. And I started trying to become more sophisticated with my tastes. So I started listening to Radiohead and Modest Mouse. And I also love, there's a Canadian band I love called Half Moon Run. Some of the most incredible musicians I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen them live a few times. They rock. Check them out. Tiny Elvis. Hey, Tiny Elvis. How you doing? Do you earn any money from YouTube? Deep Recaps, it is monetized now that I've got, it's like 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours, I think. It took a while to get there because the watch hours were never very high, but it's monetized and it's going. It's not something that's anyone could make a living off of at my level, but it's definitely exciting to see that coming in and to know that if you're fortunate enough and driven enough and creative enough to grow the channel, it's like you're only making more and more as you go. It could slip back too. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's cool to be monetized, but it's not about money at all. One day maybe it will be, and that will allow me to change things around in my life, which would be sick. But yeah, I make like $1 per video. Lisa says, Adam, you're amazing. Thanks, Lisa. And thank you for always being so supportive. You've always left such nice comments. I really appreciate it. My question is this: what's your favorite thing about yourself? Oh, how to answer this? I don't want to. Why you gotta put me in this box, Lisa? I think my favorite thing about myself is my family. I think it's the people around me that shaped me and taught me how to be a good person. Because I hope I'm a good person. The more I go through life, the more people I meet and the more situations I come across, the more I realize how much of a rarity and just an absolute boon it is to have sick parents. And I've always had supportive parents that have helped me out. And I'm just so glad that I come from such a good place. My grandparents are all amazing. My cousins and uncles and aunts are amazing. My unborn children are sick. They taught me to be open-minded and, the whole like innocent until proven guilty thing. I know that's like a court of law thing, but in real life, it applies. Like when you meet somebody, just be as interested as you can be in that person until you find out where they're coming at you from. What's their sense of humor? What are they like? If they seem a little off at first, why could that be? Don't judge up front. Get to know everybody. Everybody's equal. Everybody's awesome. I love going through life like that because it keeps me sane and it keeps me from slipping into depression and things like that. So I love being able to talk to people and being genuinely enthused by strangers all the time. Bald Roasted Brain Cells, why did you choose your profession as a voice actor? Because I love doing voices. Because I love going, hey! Oh, dude, I can't do voices anymore. I'm sorry, guys. My voice is shot. I always do voices with friends and they make me laugh and other people's voices make me laugh. That's why I started doing this. I'm not a professional yet. By any stretch of the imagination, but that's why I started doing it. Do you have another dream you've always cherished? Big time, the dream would be which is what is clear to me. This is already from these questions. It's already started, which is so incredible. But the other dream would be just to make people feel better about their own lives. There are no good answers in life. There is no meaning of life. You have to shape everything for yourself, and you can only do that by piecing together things around you, learning from them, being influenced by them, developing tastes through them. And I just want to be a part of that. What do you call it? Lexicon or zeitgeist or no, these are not the right word. I want to be part of that system of thought that helps to influence people in a positive way and makes people feel happy. That's my dream. All right, I kind of forgot I'm supposed to be lightning rounding this. Let's go. Upamanyu Ray says, I wanted to ask, are you still interested in making video game recaps? Yes, but that Horizon Zero Dawn recap took like 3 weeks to make. I'll probably make more, but it was just so crazy, and I'm trying to make stuff that I can get out semi-regularly right now. So yeah, no, I'll probably do more of it though. It was fun, and I love gaming, and some games have better stories than any movie. Well, that maybe not any movie, but they're a very strong medium for storytelling. So yeah, I'll make more of those for sure. Nate the Narwhal, do you believe you'll be leaving the recap scene? No way, Nate. What the hell, man? I've just never had a job that is this much fun, so I don't see why I would remove myself from it unless, it was forced upon me. Supriti says, do you remember all the movies you recapped? No. I think when I was making the intro for the 1 Year with Mystery video and I was collecting intros, there were a couple of them that I was like, what the hell was that? Maybe I am an AI. I don't remember making that one. Emo Psycho says, have you ever considered being a Joker? Like making jokes? Like being a serial killer? What do you mean? Charlotte asks, what's your last name? You trying to dox me, Charlotte? Captain Italy says, do you like Minute Movies? I think Minute Movies is hilarious, and he's also a very nice guy, so yeah, absolutely. Nathan asks about daydreams. I talked about that in the future plans section. Iggle Piggle says, yeah, man, I'm so happy for you. You do such a good job. You're definitely a really awesome narrator. It's so good that you enjoy doing it as well. I totally do. I'm not here out of any sense of obligation or anything like that. It's just something I love. And Iggle Piggle, you're the best. I really appreciate you and all the nice things you've said. Who Needs to Sleep? Another OG. How you doing? Who Needs to Sleep? Congratulations on 1 year. Your videos, and particularly your Let's Plays, that's so sick to hear. Those are what I really wish would take off. Have been such a highlight over the last year, and I'm so glad I found your content. Thank you so much, my friend. Chris says, what's the worst script you've recorded? I love this question. I think it was called Ricky O. It was actually pretty recent. I went to a work function and there was like free food and beer, and it was super loud in the room, and everyone was shouting over each other, and I kept bumping into coworkers I haven't seen since the pandemic started, and I wanted to get into these great conversations with all these people, so I was yelling and yelling and yelling and eating all this sugar and dairy, like all the worst things for your voice. And then I got home and I got a message from Mystery, and they were like, there's a script here. We really need it tonight. And I was like, oh my God. So I recorded it anyway, but I sounded like I was a literal frog, and you can hear it. If you go back to Ricky O, I think it's a picture of a guy like with like bolts in his body, and it's something about a weird, dangerous prison or something. It actually got like 4 million hits or something, which I was like, no, not that one. Why did that one go viral? What the hell? But yeah, I'm like, all the way through. King Nothing. Hey, King Nothing. This video is so sweet. Can't wait to see your future with all 3 of the channels you work on. Thanks so much. And thank you for being, you're so sweet. That's what I want to say. D2D, another mainstay in the Discord. D2D, what's up? Happy for you. You deserved it. Can't wait for you to reach 100K and get the play button. I forgot about play buttons. Can you imagine? What would I put on it? I don't want deep recaps on a play button. Why am I thinking about it? I don't know. That'd be cool. That would be neat. Chrysius, I want to read this one because Chrysius is, you're awesome. And so it's such a nice person. And you always leave nice, big, thoughtful comments. Like there's so many people who will just put whatever they think is going to get the most likes or whatever. Not on this channel, actually. Everyone here it's weird. It's like somehow it's like an anomaly, because most YouTube channels, I guess it's because I'm not very big yet, but like most YouTube channels draw so many bots and haters, and everyone in this, I don't think I've ever read a comment on one of my videos that has brought me down even the slightest bit, which is wild. All of you guys are incredible, but Chris kind of stands out. It's super incredible. Personally, I found your own channel through Mystery Recapped. Life can be hard, that's for sure. Yeah, I did say that in the video. Yeah, I don't know, that was not in the script. Some of the points in that video, 1 year with Mystery, some of those were scripted or like talking points. That one just kind of came out of me, and that was from the heart. But in my opinion, out of a whole bunch of YouTubers I follow, your channel brings the most excitement and happiness with every new video. I've said it before, for me, it's like popcorn, beer, go. Popcorn and beer don't taste very good together. Chris, what are you doing? I mean, maybe like one after another with like, if you eat some ginger or something to cleanse the palate in between. One can easily connect connected to you and your channel. I really like your personality and your engagement and motivation. Other channels can do that as well, but none of them catches me like you do. Well done so far. I wish you all the best for your future journey. What did I say about Chris, everybody? Thank you, Chris. And that is totally my goal, and that's why I started YouTube. I didn't start YouTube because I liked playing video games and I just wanted to play video games for a living. I didn't start YouTube because I fancied myself somebody who would become popular, and I just thought people should look at me. I started YouTube because I felt the value of my parasocial relationships with other YouTubers, and I felt that it did something very good for my life, and I wanted to do that for other people. Like some sort of weird postmodern teacher. No, not a teacher. That's so demeaning to real teachers, and also gives the wrong impression. No, okay, scratch that. I just want to I want to engage and motivate. There we go. All right, thank you, Chris. Brioin says, did Benny manage to defeat the stairs? I don't know. I've never seen Benny again since I made that video. It was one of my mom. I was living at home during the pandemic. My mom's friend came over with Benny. Benny blew my mind. I had like one great hour with him, and you guys saw the highlights, and then he was gone forever. If Benny ever comes back into the fold, you guys will definitely see it. I don't know how that would happen. Maybe someday. He'll be big though. It'll be weird, but I'm sure he defeated the stairs. Minerva says,
Merry Recaps Anniversary. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but make sure to read this out loud, not like a Smeagol.
I don't know what an Agnes is. What's an Agnes? So I can try to... Also, by the way, that was a terrible Smeagol. My voice is gone. I love your humor. I tell you. Thanks, thank you, Minerva. Hey, it's Caractacus. I was wondering if I would see Caractacus in here. Hey, Caractacus. What's up, Airport Zombie? One of the original members of this commune. What do you call this? I guess, the invisible audience. Oh, I forgot I have a name for it. I would have voted for voice number 4 myself. Oh, from the mystery poll. You bastard. But I'm not disappointed that you won and that I discovered you and the community you fostered. I do hope that you get back from us as much as you have given us. Oh, trust me. I do. Trust me. Congrats, Adam. Much love. Much love to yourself as well, Caractacus. P.S. What happened to your fingers? Hold on. What do you mean what happened to my fingers? Why are you... Caractacus, you're always noticing things and pointing them out. What do you mean? I just have long fingers, man. I don't know what you say. They bend back at the tip. Doesn't everyone's finger do that? I don't know. I just have alien hands, okay? Good question. Good question. The Ninja Bird, another long-standing invisible audienceman. I don't have a question, but keep doing you, Adam. Thank you, Ninja. Keep doing you too. I thought of one. What is your favorite YouTuber to watch in your free time? Oh, I talked about PewDiePie before. But another one I could give you would be Joel Haver for sketch comedy, Chris Ray Gunn for video game commentary, and also and like just being a funny ass, well-spoken ass dude. Corey X Kenshin is like a newer Let's Play. He's been around for as long as anybody, but I recently discovered him. I also like Afro Senju. I just think that guy's cool as hell and funny, and he's so committed to the grind. He uploads like every day. He did a really epic Elden Ring series that drew me in. I really like Afro Senju. Also, Kyle Bossman does a weekly show called Delayed Input that's very, very funny, dry video game humor. Kyle is really commendable, and I wish that his channel grew faster because I just think that he needs to be more appreciated. He's amazing. I like Gerald Undone for camera and tech tips. Really, really smart guy, just like razor sharp, and is super funny and very like committed to his audience. And I really like his content. Yes Theory is cool travel content. Jontron is just batshit insane, and I love it. Daniel Green is a really good YouTuber. He does like fantasy book related content. He's been branching out lately as he's grown. He has been growing, and good for you, Daniel. He's really, really cool and really like relatable and hilarious. Donkey, obviously. Penguins, Moist Critical, obviously. Todd Barrage is a newer YouTuber, a smaller channel, deserves a shout out. He makes like pop punk covers of popular songs, and he puts so much work into them, and he's like this brilliant producer, and he's also just so multi-talented with singing and all. He plays all the instruments, and it's impressive, and I recommend you check out Todd Barrage. And Matt Colbo is a sketch comedian that one of our members here, Randa, put me on to. Canadian guy, super funny. Matt Colbo is worth watching too. I'd be a complete and total fool not to shout out Pixel Rookie. He and I started our YouTube channels on the exact same day and met on Reddit. We've been friends ever since. His channel ballooned way before mine did. He does gaming videos, but he creates narratives within games and he narrates over them, and he does all kinds of cool editing and voice work, and he's brilliant. And Pixel is so sick. You got to check Pixel out. Alt-Shift-X is a wicked video essayist, long form videos about good TV shows, goes super into depth, smooth as butter editing, and he's awesome. Alt-Shift-X is so cool. Also, Like Stories of Old is another channel like that. Sorry, I keep pointing at you guys. I don't know why I'm and one more, Mark Rebier. Mark Rebier is a maniac. He's awesome. He's a musician. He has like a loop station and all these acoustic instruments and percussion instruments, and he just creates. He just stands there and live streams for 3 hours, and he somehow never misses. It's completely improvised, yet he never hits a wall where he's like, oh crap, I can't make this work. It always ends up becoming insane, and I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it, and I hope that he continues to find success in his career as well. How was that for an answer, Ninja Bird? Oh yeah, Dende asked this in the Discord as well, so I promised Dende I would get to this one. Congrats on 22K. Thanks, Dende, for Q&A. Can we get a brief explanation of how you record and edit and what kind of exercises you do before recording to articulate? That's, wow, nice. That no one asked that. To record, I go into my closet. I have shirts and sound treatment tiling all in the closet. I have a blanket draped up above just to eliminate as much of the reverb as possible so there's no echo. I know it's not as good as it could be, but I got to make do with what I got. I'm in a small apartment. Someday I wish to build an actual studio for myself, but I just record into a microphone into the program Audacity, and then I also just edit in Audacity. There really is nothing more to it than that. If you're interested, I could maybe do like a more in-depth tutorial someday, but there are other YouTubers out there that are so much better at that and can give you so much better advice. I'm really basic, and I plan on becoming more advanced. And maybe when I do and I find stuff that really works for me, I will, God, I'm getting sweaty. I will make a video on that once I know what I'm talking about a little bit more. Exercises. I've been all over Reddit trying to figure out an answer to this myself, because sometimes I go to record and it's just not there, and I'm like, oh, what do people do when this happens to them? But I never really get good answers. You know, some people will go like, it's just like, what are you doing? How is that helping you? Also, I see a lot of like, they always start their videos by going as if they think that makes them look like a pro. It's like, what are you doing? Maybe it is a real thing and I'm being an asshole, but I don't think so. Now that I've spit all over the place, I'm ready. Yeah, so I don't really have exercises, although I do find that just general exercise results in a way better record. I was talking earlier about like, if you go out for a run and get some cardio in you, even if you like destroy yourself and you're like, oh, for like hours afterwards, then when you bounce back, you will find that your voice is so much better. Like you can, it takes less, you can hold your breath longer and you can get more full sentences in without tapering off at the end of them. But also it comes down to food. I found the reason I did that coffee vlog a while back was that I stopped putting sugar and milk in my coffee because those are both things that ding up your voice a little bit, make it murkier. So I wake up, I drink black coffee, I wait a couple of hours, and then I record before I've eaten most of the time. And I find that it's just the cleanest that way. And then I'll eat after I've done my recording for the day. That's basically it. If you have any recommendations, please hit me up. I would love to know more. Eventually I'll have a more rigorous routine, I'm sure. SA says, I guess that makes it your birthday today. Thanks, SA. Thank you for all of your nice comments over the months. Yeah, I like having a YouTube birthday. Well, I have a YouTube real birthday. I have a mystery birthday, and I have a birthday. How cool is that? Field asks, have you ever considered streaming? Absolutely. I talk to people about this all the time. It seems like the way things are now. This is how a younger crowd likes to consume their gaming content and their entertainment content these days. Streamers are the new normal, and I get that, and I know that the old traditional heavily edited Let's Play is going the way of the dodo. Not really. I mean, some people still totally make a living off of it, but I find that as a new personality, harder to break into this space doing things an old way. So I get the importance of streaming, and I know that I got to get on that, but I've just been chicken. I've just been a chicken. I know that once I start, there's an expectancy that develops that like, oh, like he should have a schedule, right? Chris Ray Gunn is one of my favorite people to watch stream, but he doesn't really have a schedule. So you never know know if he's going to be live. And a lot of the time, especially with YouTube streamers, sometimes you don't get a notification until they've stopped streaming. It's a mess. So you want to go into it with sort of a plan, a battle plan. And I would like to be like, hey, Tuesdays and Thursday nights I stream. On Tuesdays, we're just going to go on the internet together and check stuff out. On Thursdays, I'm going to play whatever game I've got in the rotation, or maybe a couple different ones. I feel like I would have a blast doing that. Totally. Especially doing this video has kind of opened me up to, I guess I can just talk. I figured it would be impossible to keep things up, but someone's gonna call me out on that. But yeah, the short answer is yes, and eventually, and I gotta put my foot on the gas. Bella Cruz says, hey Bella, congratulations, you handsome weirdo. Looking forward to when you finally snap so we can have an update on that coffee maker. I considered doing this Q&A while making coffee so I could show you guys the update, but then I remembered how bad the audio is in the kitchen. So I'll do something like that at some point. Would you consider more foreign films in the future? Totally. I actually find more often than not, when I watch foreign films, international films, it's not foreign just because it's not in my language, you know. I find, especially with like South Korean and Japanese movies, I'm always so enamored with them. Just ever so slightly different in like the way that their culture uses movies as a vehicle to tell a story, and it's fresh. If it's coming out of Hollywood, if it's a big blockbuster movie, tentpole, you know, the producers are relying on it to make $100 million. You know exactly what to expect most of the time. In a rare case, like something like Jordan Peele's new movie Nope, you get something kind of new and it's awesome. But for the most part, Hollywood is getting boring, really boring, and the Oscars are getting boring, and international films are where it's at. So I'll recap more of those in the future. Hell yeah. I'll look into some that look interesting. Let's go. Saitama, hey, I was looking for you, Saitama. I didn't want to close this video out without getting to a question of yours. Bill 8, do you have any unique talents other than gaming and voice acting? Drumming. I think drumming is my other big one. I'm not a pro by any means, but I can hold down a set, and most often if someone has a cover they want to play, I can figure it out, and I really want to get back to that. That was a huge part of my life. Other than that, nothing, man. Talentless. Don't ever underestimate yourself, Adam. I've never seen anyone else who values their subscribers more than you. Yeah, no, I really do. It was like the most joyous thing I've ever experienced on the internet when my videos started getting views and you guys started popping up, and I could tell when there were some of you who were recurring. You were coming back, you were watching all the new ones, joining for the live premieres, commenting. All of you guys who are in the Discord, I value you guys way more than you might even think I do. It's all about bridging these gaps, building these connections. So I'm glad that you feel that way, Saitama. That's totally what I'm trying to give off. SA says, are you planning on doing vlogs soon? I talked about that earlier. Just the whole thing about how my life isn't really vloggable at the moment. But if I ever snap, yeah, maybe that'll become part of the new norm. We'll see. We'll see. I just don't fancy myself a vlogger yet. You were having trouble with your schedule. Are you okay now? Genuinely concerned. No, don't be concerned. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I just have a busy schedule. That's all. Sometimes, you know, people will comment and be like, where's the new Road 96? I'm going to move on. You suck. No one says you suck, but people get impatient to those comments. I usually say, like, I remind them, like, I got so much going on. I'm sorry. I don't mean that to sound like I'm not okay or I'm complaining. It's just more of just an explanation, an excuse. And last, are you going to throw a party? Already did, buddy. Fabio Maynard Williams, my friend. You've been around for some time. How you doing, Fabio? If you pretended to turn into a robot, that would be so nice. But it's your video, and I like it how you do it. And congrats on your mystery recap, Dan. Thanks, Fabio. So nice. Charlotte, I didn't answer your other question, Charlotte, so I'll answer this one. If you never got the gig, would you have continued doing YouTube? Yeah, totally. This question, would you have eventually quit? I did. I've had ups and downs with this. Like I was saying earlier, I've been on YouTube for 5 years, I think. So I think for the first like 6 months, I posted almost every day. I was so heavy on it. I was so sure it was what I was doing now. And then eventually, like, you know, just had to face the music. Like there was no one watching at all. Like the only people I could get to watch were like sub for sub, tit for tat people on Reddit, where you're like, hey, great video. And then they watch you for 10 seconds and go, hey, great video. You got yourself a sub. It's just such a crapshoot. So I stopped for like, I don't know, a couple of years. I let other things in my life take more precedence and priority. But then I came back before Mystery started. That was when I started doing, like Ring Fit and Resident Evil Village and 7. I came back because I just realized that it never really left me. Like there's something about the joy of creating something and then putting it out into the world. Not that a Let's Play video is fine art, but it does take time and concentration, and you do learn from it every single time you make a video, and you get better and better at it, and you improve, and you can tell when you're improving, and that's fun. And sometimes something crazy happens and you watch it back and you're like, oh, that was a really good part. I hope people see that part. It's just it's a joy. It's joyous. So even though I stopped for a while, eventually I hit a down patch, the pandemic, and I was like, let's get this going again. I got all the equipment still. It remains to be seen if YouTube is going to be a viable future for me. We'll see what happens. Jutao, is there really a shackle on your ankle? Just blink and wink. Hellish says 1 year, baby. 1 year, baby. Thanks, Hellish. Freelux. Hey, Freelux. I remember Freelux. Freelux, you're always around. So I do things like this. If you'd like that. That's what you were linking. No, I wasn't trying to tell anybody to subscribe. Honestly, I can't stand the channels. I get that it actually, there is, in the analytics, there's proof that if you tell people to like and subscribe at the beginning of a video, you get more of that. It's proven. And that drives me crazy because I feel like, why do people need to be reminded? It's YouTube. You know the drill. This is how it works. Like and subscribe. I don't know. I will never say it in one of my videos unless I make a joke out of it. I just think it's obnoxious. I hate when I find a brand new channel and I'm there because they're advising me on something, or I'm looking for a tip on something, and they're like, hey, it's Duplex Gaming. Before we get in there, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell. And it's like, not only am I not going to do that, but I'm also not going to watch the rest of your video. I don't know what it is. It's just so forthright. It's too much. But thanks, Freelux, for reminding everybody. And you really should subscribe. Okay, guys, one more. Let's do one more, and then you guys can let me know in the comments if you want me to do another one of these. This is so long. Everyone who I didn't get to, I'm so sorry. I'll do another one, I promise, at some point. Maybe when I actually hit 25K, or maybe like a slightly higher milestone. We'll see. This has been so much fun. I was nervous going into this. I was like, what if I don't, express myself well or represent myself well? But as soon as I got going here, I'm just sitting here being blinded by lights. But I'm having fun. I didn't expect the questions to be so diverse and so insightful. I really appreciate this, guys. Thank you so much for being so engaged and engaging. This means the world. I wasn't just wasn't expecting this in this way. So yeah, I love you guys. Oh, one more question. L. Omar Galib says, release your unlisted gaming videos in your gaming channel. Okay, so the unlisted ones are still here. You can still watch them. The reason I don't want to repost them in the gaming channel is that a lot of the actual files, like exported high quality files of those old videos, were on a hard drive that unfortunately died a couple of years ago. So the best thing I could do to re-release them would be to clip them myself using OBS from this channel, which would compress the quality. It would further reduce it. Also, they are my older videos, right? So I look back on them fondly, but I don't want to be re-putting them out there as though they're new again. I want to keep making new stuff and hopefully getting better and better as I go. Maybe I'll do one thing I've been thinking of is like compilations. So for example, Outlast 2 is the first game I ever did, and there's a new one coming out called the Outlast Trials at some point. There's no release date right now. So when that gets announced, maybe I'll do like a compilation of jump scares or something from Outlast 2, just to call attention back to it, and also maybe to get into the algorithm a little bit as people start looking up the new one. That's probably the most I'll do. But for now, you can still watch them. You just have to go into the playlists tab. And I'm sorry, I know that's confusing. I know that this is like the worst way I wish that I just hit the ground running and did everything right from the start, but I'm learning as I go and I'm trying to adjust and adapt. So sorry that I'm so all over the place, but I think for now, yeah, those videos they'll stay here, they'll stay unlisted, and I'll keep making new stuff for Adam After Dark. The link to Adam After Dark is I don't know how to do that, is right here. Yeah, we'll say this is the end of the video. So if you'd like, here's a video from the gaming channel to check out, guys. And here is one of the recaps I've been talking about so much. I just want to say, if you're actually still watching this, thank you. I can't believe you did. I hope that I answered those questions to your satisfaction, and I hope that I haven't bummed you out if I didn't answer your question. And I hope that you will watch out. No, I'm not going to do that again.